Hi geographers, welcome to your lesson on the factors that form community identity. So what your community looks like, how the people in your community behave, and what other people think of your community as well. That's your community identity. What your community looks like, how it behaves. Let's review last lesson. So what does OMET stand for? Open spaces, meeting places, entertainment, transport, technology. And what is OMET? These are the factors that enhance social connectedness. So writing down at the top of a new page in your books, your success criteria for this lesson, your to know and to be able to. Your to know is the factors that make up the identity of a community, and your to be able to is identify the identity of a community. So as a class, we're going to discuss what forms a community identity. What do you think, and you can do this now in your books if you like, if you're learning from home. What forms a community identity? What do you think forms the identity of a community? The personality, the character of a community. Now, these are the factors that make up a community identity. So these are the four things that make up a community identity, and we're going to kind of explore what these look like as well. So for the P, we've got public events. So for instance, in my hometown of Grafton, we have the Jacaranda Festival, and it's a big public event that everyone goes to, and it really forms a lot of our community identity as Graftonites. Your next one is your environment. So what does your city or your area look like? Is it really an open, luxurious city to live in, or is it a congested city? Is it really close together? How does your environment shape your community identity? Next, you've got religious beliefs. Religion plays quite heavily in the culture and the identity of a community. And then your last one, of course, is culture. So culture means the way in which people live and how they behave. So if you live closer to the beach, you might have a real surf culture. That's just one example of how culture can influence your community identity. The next activity, guys, is going to be able to watch these videos from Anthony Bourdain's Parts Unknown, where he goes to different communities. And what we want you to do is, after the video, what do you think is the identity of each community? So the first one's on the Bronx. What do you think is the identity of the Bronx, suburb in New York in America? After watching the video, what do you think is the identity of Punjab? What do you think is the identity of Seoul in Korea, South Korea? And after the video, what do you think is the identity of Granada in Spain? And then Tehran. All right, and then after that, guys, in these videos, we would have explored some things that form community identity and form the things that make up PERC as well. So we've looked at, in these videos, food, transport, technology, parks and open spaces, religion, and facilities. And what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and fill out this worksheet as well. It'll be printed off for you, so make sure you have it in your books as well. And we'll look at the questions here. So, you've been put in charge of creating a brand new city. What is the identity of your community going to look like? Answer the questions below. So, transport, the way people get around, shapes the community's identity. What are going to be your transport options? Technology, what people have access to, shapes the community's identity. What types of technology would you have in your city? Open spaces, what types of open spaces would you have in your city? And religion, what cultural, religious opportunities are you going to have in your city? Food, what type of restaurants and food are you going to have in your city? And then lastly, facilities. So what types of facilities would you have in your city for people to go to be entertained by? So you can see how our factors that make up a community identity really kind of link to especially services and facilities, environment, and then of course social connectedness. And now these all things make up the identity of a community. After you finish that worksheet, guys, there will be a Kahoot for you to answer as well as a class. Good luck, and make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to stay updated to any of my websites or any new videos that I create.